friends, welcome back to Ketamine Connections. I am your host, Krishtal, your ketamine coach, and today we are diving into a topic that I know a lot of you are curious about. We are going to debunk 3 common myths about ketamine. Myths that I hear all the time that can really hold people back from exploring this incredible tool for mental health, for longevity, for biohacking, for so many things. So if you've been hesitant or confused about ketamine therapy, this episode is for you. I'm so happy you found us. I'm so happy you're here. Really quickly, before we jump into the episode, I want to mention something that is really amazingly exciting. I have my subliminal workshop coming up on January 29th. It's the first workshop of 2025, and it is the perfect way to set yourself up for the year. I'm offering up personalized subliminal recordings designed to help you align your subconscious mind with your goals, whether you're preparing for your next psychedelic journey or just looking to make lasting changes in your life that really go through the whole year. I know this is the time of year where a lot of us are looking back at the year thinking, oh man, wow, like what an exciting year. I got all of these things done, like this. Heck yeah, I'm amazing. I did all these things. And then there's inevitably a few things that we look back on like, oh man, I really thought this was the year I was going to do blank, and it's not. So if you want to make changes that last throughout the whole year, this workshop is for you. The subliminal recording that you'll get will be personalized to you, and it is an amazing tool. I've been working with subliminals, and they are a real game changer. So if you book your spot for this workshop before January 1st, you're going to get a significant discount. You'll lock in the 2024 rate. So all of that information is in the show notes. Please check it out after the episode so that you can get in there before the price increases for 2025. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic, the myths, the legends, the mysteries. There's so many misconceptions about ketamine therapy, and it's time to clear the air. So grab a cup of tea or whatever your vibe is, and let's dive in. Let's get started. Okay, so myth number 1 is that ketamine is only for people with severe mental health issues. So this is one of the biggest myths that I hear about ketamine therapy because people often think that ketamine is only for those people who have severe mental health issues like chronic depression, PTSD, severe, potentially crippling anxiety. And while ketamine can be a game changer for those dealing with the more challenging conditions, that's not the only reason to consider it. In fact, ketamine can be a powerful tool for really anyone looking to boost your mental health, whether you're dealing with moderate anxiety, maybe just like Western modern life stress, or even just like feeling like you're stuck in life. Ketamine works because ketamine works on the subconscious mind. It really helps unlock deep emotional patterns that you don't need to have a diagnosis to benefit from that. So maybe you're looking to get to know yourself better, to heal from some old wounds, or maybe just find more clarity. I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. I'm going in circles. I'm going in circles. I'm going in circles. How do I get out of here? Like, what's the way to get out of this loop that's just like running and running? So ketamine provides all of that. It's like giving your mind a reset button. And in fact, many of my clients who have used ketamine for personal growth rather than specific mental health issues often come away with amazing insights into their relationships, career, life purpose, even just the sort of like the peek behind the curtain of what the puppet master is doing in their lives, getting insight on the ways that they became who they are. And that is so powerful. Ketamine is really not just about healing trauma. It's really about enhancing your ability to live your best life. What if you could experience that kind of clarity and that kind of emotional freedom, even if you're not facing severe mental health issues at this current moment? That's the beautiful thing about ketamine is that it really works for everyone. So ketamine is not just for people with severe mental health issues. In fact, ketamine is a part of the biohacking world for peak performance, for whether you're talking athletic performance or mental performance or whatever it is. Ketamine is so much more than trauma healing. Yeah, let's get into myth number 2. Myth number 2, ketamine is addictive. Okay, this is a big one and it's nuanced. So I know there's a lot of people out there wondering, is ketamine addictive? How is it used for addiction recovery? If it is addictive itself, here's the thing. Yes, ketamine can be addictive, but so are so many things in our lives, right? Hi, my mobile phone. I have so many boundaries with my smartphone because of how addictive my phone is. Social media, same thing. So many boundaries that I have with social media because of how genuinely addictive it is for me. I have a history of addiction. Social media, food, our thoughts. Did you know that 95% of the thoughts you think are repeated from the day before? We're thinking the same things over and over. So there's a lot of things that are addictive. And we live in a world where certain things are designed to be addicting, right? Our phones are designed to be addicting. Our food is designed to be addicting, habit forming, and truly compulsive. So addiction is everywhere this day and age, unfortunately. And also, let's educate ourselves about it so that we can take our personal power back, because addiction, it has a way of robbing us of our personal power. But when we talk about ketamine and addiction, context matters. And I really, really, really cannot stress that enough. This is exactly why I always, always, always advocate for using ketamine in a clinical setting, because set and setting, which we talked about in episode 3, the one thing that you should not do before ketamine, if you have not listened to that episode, go and check it out. It's a really good one. Set and setting is the number one rule for psychedelic use. And when ketamine is used in a controlled therapeutic environment, the risk of addiction is significantly reduced, and you are much more likely to have beneficial transformation, and you're really mitigating yourself from slipping into patterns of misuse or abuse or addiction. I actually work with clients who have a history of addiction, and like I said before, I also myself have a history of addiction. I talked about this pretty much at length in episode number 15. If you have not listened to that episode, it's a really vulnerable, open-hearted share about how psychedelics helped me reset my main addictive patterns, and it's a good one to check out if you are struggling with addiction. So episode 15, if you want to hear about my personal story with addiction, and also because of my personal experience with addiction, because of the training that I have with working with the subconscious mind, I work with a lot of people with addiction. Again, whether it's a substance use issue or whether it's thoughts or more societally accepted addictions like phone, food, whatever. I've had a lot of people that I've worked with addiction recovery. And that's the thing about this particular myth about ketamine being addictive, is that it's the context. Okay. The truth is, I know how challenging it can be to be stuck in addictive pattern loops, and whether it's with an external substance or with your own pattern thinking. But all of the clients that I work with are using ketamine in a clinical setting. Addiction simply does not come into play when you're using it in this way. And in fact, ketamine has actually been shown to help people reset your brain, confront the root cause of addiction, and make real lasting change, specifically and especially when it is combined with a skilled integration specialist to help you guide the process of resetting your whole life alongside your patterns. Yes, ketamine does have the potential for misuse. Just like any other substance, when it is used in a safe, guided environment, it can actually be a powerful tool for recovery and healing, right? Imagine that there is something out there that, yes, it's this double-edged sword that used in the wrong way, it can be addictive, but it can also help you break free from old patterns, gain deeper insight into the cause of your addiction with the right help of with someone to help you guide that, someone who knows addiction and knows how to get you through to the other side of that. I've seen it happen time and time again, and it is absolutely available to you. All right, and for myth number 3, ketamine is just a party drug and doesn't have any real therapeutic value. Oh God, this one is a doozy. Ketamine is just a party drug. I think this is a myth. I think this myth is most I think this myth is most frustrating because it totally undermines the therapeutic potential of ketamine. Yes, ketamine has been used recreationally in some circles. It became really popular in the 80s, but that does not take away from its real healing properties. In fact, when used in a controlled clinical setting, ketamine can provide really profound psychological healing and emotional breakthroughs and even catapulting you to the next level. What people don't always realize is that psychedelics like ketamine have been used for a long time in the mental health field to treat depression, anxiety, PTSD, addiction, and even end of life anxiety. This is not just about a trip, it's about deep emotional work. It's a tool that opens up access to the subconscious, allowing people to confront and heal from trauma. I mean, emotional blockages, old patterns, all of that lives in the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is 95% of your brain. If you're not sure what it is, check out episode 1 of this whole podcast where I talk more about that. And that is exactly where you go when you are working with ketamine. Unlike the recreational use of ketamine, therapeutic use is structured, it's intentional, it's supported by professionals. So while yes, people have been using ketamine in clubs and raves and all of that stuff for recreational purposes for a long time, the true therapeutic potential, which is what this whole podcast is about, is found when it's used to help people heal. It's like comparing a scalpel by a surgeon to a knife used for cutting vegetables. Like, yes, same substance, same tool, totally different purpose. In therapy, ketamine can create the right mental and emotional environment for insight, for transformation, and it can really help you harness the power for your own healing instead of just for, oh, a fleeting experience. So that's where the real magic happens, is when ketamine is used intentionally. All right, there you have it. 3 myths about ketamine therapy debunked. Woo woo. Ketamine is not just for people with severe mental health issues. It is not inherently addictive when it's used responsibly, and it has absolute real therapeutic benefits in a clinical setting. If you've been on the fence or had concerns about ketamine, I hope today's episode helped clear some of that up and gave you a new perspective on how ketamine can benefit you. If you're interested in exploring further, please reach out. There's all my links in the show notes where there's ways to reach out to me, ask questions and things like that. And remember that education is key. So whether it's about ketamine or any other tool for healing, the more, the better equipped you are to make informed decisions. So before we wrap up, I want to remind you about my upcoming subliminal workshop on January 29th. This is going to be the perfect way to set yourself up for success in 2025 with a personalized subliminal recording to align your subconscious mind with your biggest goals for the year. Sign up is in the show notes. Please sign up before January 1st so you can lock in that lower current rate. And trust me, you are going to want to be there. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who might need this insight, who has these poor preconceived myths about ketamine. Share it with them, leave a review, and as always, keep exploring, keep growing, definitely keep trusting the process, and absolutely stay curious. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Ketamine Connections. I hope you found our discussion insightful and empowering. Remember that understanding the subconscious mind and how to make the most of ketamine therapy can truly transform someone's healing journey. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to share it with your friends and family and anyone who might benefit from this information. So few people considering ketamine therapy are fully educated about its potential and the impact that it has on the subconscious mind. Your share could be the key element to their transformation. Don't forget to subscribe to Ketamine Connections so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I absolutely adore reading your reviews. So your feedback really helps me feel like this is an engaging exercise. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm talking into empty internet space. So your review really helps light me up and also helps me reach more audience. So I would appreciate one if you're willing. And please use the link below to submit any questions or topics that you would like covered. I cannot wait to hear from you and to co-create this journey together. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and embrace the possibilities that are available in this moment right here, right now. Thanks so much. See you next time on Ketamine Connections.